There's no shortage of fantastic hikes on St. John, and on a post-rain late afternoon, we stumbled on a really good but lesser-known one, the Esperance Trail, off Centerline Road.
We got rained out on the Reef Bay Trail, but on the way home, we passed this Esperance Trail. It looks like there are some ruins that are only about a third of a mile in, so we're going to try and get down there and see what those are like. I haven't heard much about this trail, but it's pretty cool. Seems almost like a four-wheel drive path. It's nice and wide, very rocky, lots of grass.
The big pluses about this trail are that there's a really nice payoff with the ruins less than 10 minutes into the hike. So anyone looking for a low-impact jungle adventure can find that here. But you can also hike it for a significant length, as we found out by mistakenly passing the turnoff to those ruins. If you choose the long hike, you'll be treated to a lightly traveled and lush walk through the jungle overlooking the south shore of the island. Eventually, you'd end up on the beach. Maybe it was because everything was wet, but this side of the island seemed greener and more lush than the north shore.
This is what I love about one of these wet forests. This looks like a solid trunk of a tree, but it is like paper. Decomposition. The jungle taking care of its own.
We encountered no other hikers during our hour-plus hike, and the scant evidence of walkers on the trail leads me to believe that's fairly typical. Like all the trails on St. John, it's lightly maintained and requires decent hiking footwear. Eventually, we wound our way back to the turnoff we'd missed that'll bring you to the first of 3 sets of ruins on this trail. There's nothing like approaching a set of ruins that are in the process of being reclaimed by the jungle. It's awe-inspiring and one of my favorite types of adventures. Some of the oldest ruins on the island. This 200-acre plantation was built by the Danish in the early 18th century, and historical records show that this plantation was a meeting place for the slaves who lived on the island. They'd come from all over to socialize and conduct religious services on the weekends.
I found it's often the case here that you'll find caskets at residential ruins as well, and this is Louise Hassler, who died in 1861 and was interred here, far away from the beach where they disposed of the bodies of the slaves that built these places. Very interesting.
This site is so far removed from people and roads, it was incredibly peaceful, allowing the sounds of the jungle to seep in from everywhere. But this remote location also provided construction challenges the builders had to overcome.
Well, you build with what you've got, and what they've got here is brain coral. And this is a first for me. I've never seen brain coral used in construction of a dwelling or an edifice, but here it is. They harvest it down at the coast and lugged it all the way up here. It's pretty amazing what people will use to build their dwellings.
The Esperance Trail is a fantastic hike for any traveler looking for a low-impact jungle adventure.